When I was younger, I wanted to be a professional basketball player. But one of the things is really puzzling me right now. You have professional athletes refusing to go into games. Can you imagine a baseball player refusing to swing his bat, a basketball player refusing to shoot the ball, or a football player refusing to pass the ball? They are reluctant to do the thing in which they were created to do. Well, we have a prophet in the Bible named Jonah, and he was reluctant to do what God called him to do. In Jonah chapter 1, verses 1 through 3, it says, "The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me." But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed to Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for the port. After paying the fare, he went aboard and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. There are several things that we learn from this passage. In verse 1, it talks about how the wickedness of the people of Nineveh came up before God. This shows that God knows everything and he sees everything. And then in verse 2, Jonah gets his instruction, which he didn't do. And then verse 3, Jonah tries to run from the presence of God. And that's so silly. Who can run from God when he's everywhere at the same time? We see this in Genesis chapter 6. We also see it in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3, where it says, "The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good." We need not to dismay and realize that God is in control and he sees everything. But in verse 3, it says that Jonah tried to run from the presence of God. And that's how some of us are. God has created us for a purpose, and we're trying to run from the thing that he's called us to. So what do we do with this? We can know that God is in control, that he sees everything and knows everything, but we cannot run from God. So the only thing that we can do is say, "Lord, whatever you've called me to do, whatever you've created me to do, yes, Lord." So let's not be like the reluctant prophet. Let's not be like the baseball player that refuses to swing his bat. Let's not be like the basketball player that refuses to shoot the ball. Let's say, "God, I'm going to do whatever you've called me to do, and I'm going to do it with all my heart." So the only response that we should have to God is, "Yes, Lord."